wake up when the sun goes down. I wake up when the sun goes down. I wanna do some comedy. I wanna do some comedy. At a dive bar, at a dive bar, at a dive bar, at a dive bar. I can't say what I wanna say. I can't say what I wanna say. Uncensored. Dive bar comedy. Dive bar comedy. Dirty, bad, nasty 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 comedy. Dive bar comedy.
Hello, everyone. I am Wild Joe. Welcome to episode 82 of Dive Bar Comedy. I hope you're enjoying that theme song that it was recorded and sung and played and written by our man GT, the Gangsta Taco Topolian, as Mista See calls him, who we lost at the end of the year. So we are going on and doing the GT's Comedy Jam on our own. We've still got a great, amazing, actually, group of comics who are strong in the LA scene and who are committed to doing comedy wherever it may lead them, even if it's in a dingy, dark, dank, dirty dive bar. So there we go. There's no dirtier dive bar than Liquid Zoo. And we were back for end of February, last Thursday of the month, and this show was recorded then, doing lots of interviews behind the scenes, and also, of course, having our full lineup of 12 comics hit the stage. So if you want to come see us live, please come the last Thursday of every month to Liquid Zoo in Van Nuys. It's in the San Fernando Valley in LA area. We also have Lotus Lounge on the second Tuesday of every month. That is east of Hollywood. So if you're up in the valley or down more centrally in LA, you have some options. And we picked up a new location, Witch's Brew. So that one is the first Monday of every month. So we're doing it, people. We're doing it. Please come out and see us live. You can always find our show flyers and schedule on Facebook at the GT's Comedy Jam page on Facebook or on Twitter. You can check out at Dive Bar Comedy on Twitter. You can also follow me at Wild Joe Comedy or look up Wild Joe Comedy on Facebook. So there's that. Although it seems like everybody's on Instagram these days, which I am, but it's not quite as exciting because I'm mostly posting pics of just my photographic aspirations, and a lot of pics of my kids. I have 2 babies. So anyway, it's all good. So you can find us all over the place. You can also find our podcast all over the place. We come out late night Tuesday, aka 12 a.m. Eastern time on Wednesdays every single week. We're up to episode 82. So we're going on over a year and a half now with the weekly podcast. So please subscribe and wherever you listen to podcasts, because we're all over the place. We're on iTunes, Android, and all your devices. So there's that. So we are back at the Liquid Zoo for this episode with some great comics. And actually, I finally got back on stage. So it took a couple months of recuperating and rethinking things before I got back up following the loss of GT, because, you don't want to be insensitive and say things, to dishonor someone who's dead and can no longer defend themselves. So although I had some jokes from before, I had to throw them out. I'm still reworking my material because it's changing my life, and people know me. I can't just do the same jokes as if nothing happened. So this episode, I tried a whole new set revolving around the funeral and being left a widow. So doesn't sound like much funny material, but I actually got a lot of laughs, and it was a lot of fun. And it was I got a surprisingly great reception for the first time trying out these jokes. So I'm going to keep working on them and keep adding to it, and then go through my old repertoire and find out which jokes I can incorporate and how, because everything has changed in my life. And so, you can't just go on pretending that everything's the same when people know you and they know it's not. So anyway, I hope you guys enjoy. I kick off the show, the first spot of the night. So I'm up next. So just sit back, enjoy the show. There's going to be me, followed by Victor Martinez, Heather Winter, and Paul Green. He's a newcomer to the GT's Comedy Jam, and I especially enjoyed his set. So listen to the end, enjoy all of the comics, and please subscribe. Thanks a lot.
Yo, welcome to the GT's Comedy Jam at the Liquid Zoo. Give yourselves a round of applause for being in the motherfucking house. That's right, it's Mista See, of course, a.k.a. Poppy Carlo, the rich people person eater. You know what I mean? We up here in Philly, boy, representing the GT's Comedy Jam. A gentleman who has moved on, but he's left a strong legacy, and I want to thank you guys for coming here and supporting what this man is doing. Round of applause for that. That's right, R.I.P. to GT, R.I.P. to Kobe Bryant, R.I.P. to GG, R.I.P. to everybody that we have all lost and moved on. Your dads, your uncles. I lost my uncle a few months ago and whatnot. I don't know about y'all. This last holiday section has been tough. Has it not? I mean, multiple levels. From super famous, fake Jesus type dudes to mid-level homies to total strangers. It's a reality check. And that's why we're here to laugh at a comedy jam. You ready for that? You ready for the GT Comedy Jam? That's right, I'm Mista See, of course, a Skip Bash Entertainment representative. Get ready for the Deported that's coming out by Rebel Way this motherfucking Monday. I'm in the bitch with Jerry Bedknob, you mother bitches. Yeah, I'm gonna see with that dude. Anyway, fuck with it. Get ready. You ready for your first talent coming to the stage? I said, are you ready for your first talent coming to the stage? You goddamn right, you are. Put your hands together and give me a clap, 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 clap for Miss Wild Joe!
Ooh, hey, hide up in this web.
Yeah.
Oh, which makes sense because I recently became a widow. He was my husband. But I did not kill him. I thought about it. Thoughts do not kill people. But they say, comedy comes from tragedy. The best comedy comes from tragedy. But I don't know about that because, I always would find humor in things that were ridiculous or embarrassing or disgusting. That's why I talked about my sex life for the first 3 years. No. Death is tragic, but there are some funny things that I learned about the death industry after having my spouse die. We went to buy a grave, and it turns out you can't buy a single plot. You have to buy them in pairs. Yeah, sucks to be single. There are real estate investors, like the bottom feeders of the real estate industry, who buy these plots and hang on to them
and wait for the price to increase and then gouge people. And they don't want to sell them. It's like ticket scalpers. They don't want to sell them individually. It's like buying a single seat at a concert, you know. So I had to buy my own grave. It's very overpriced. Tried it on, laid down to imagine what it would be like to be there. One size fits all. Very nice setting, very nice place. I guess it'll do. The only thing I didn't like about it was surrounded by dead bodies. You gotta choose, you know, where you sit. There's all these names and the placards that say, like, information about them. And I'm like, do I do boy, girl, like, should I take the left side, the right side? So I already know where I'm going to be. I'm next to a guy named Donald. He served in the U.S. Army in the Korean War. So, yeah. At least I got that sorted out. Yeah. Funeral was interesting too. I didn't just bury my husband. I buried the fuck out of my husband. They came out with a bulldozer, right? And I see this bulldozer coming out onto the field. And before you can even put like a couple of little ceremonial shovels of dirt in, that bulldozer came in and just buried the fuck out of me. And I don't know if that's normal. I don't know. But somebody there said, well, they do that because they want to make sure nobody tampers with the body. Like, by the time we leave this funeral, we want to feel secure that the grave is covered and nobody's going to tamper with it. And I'm like, it's not like I died, you know? Who's going to tamper with GT? I mean, even when he was alive, dude. Anyway. But, yeah, and then they form a line where everybody comes by and says, I'm sorry for your loss, I'm sorry for your loss. They shake your hand. And I'm a little germophobic. So that was kind of difficult, especially because I noticed at least like 10% of the people shaking my hand had some kind of sores around their mouth. I don't know if it's cold and flu and cold sore season or what. But yeah, I was like, okay, let me get some disinfectant before I get out of here. There's no bathrooms out there either. You know, you can't wash your hands. There's no bathrooms out there. I hate to admit this, but I did go back and visited the grave a couple weeks later. I really had to take a leak. So I pissed on his grave. Look, I didn't piss on his grave. Actually, I pissed on my grave. I think that should be fine. I'm in charge of everything, all his passwords. I get to go through his phone now. Found his diary. Get to find out what he really thinks of me. Yeah. If you thought GT was sick before, those were the things he decided to say publicly. His private thoughts. But, you know, I'm saving them. I gotta save the diary, you know, one day for his children when they're over 21 or maybe over 40, because you need a little life experience to not be disturbed by these things. But, yeah. I remember one thing he said was that he noticed I don't eat the skin off of chicken. I and that he sure is glad that he's circumcised. Alright, you guys. This is going to be a fun show. Thank you all for coming out. I'm Wild Joe. And also, just a plug, we're doing the Dive Bar Comedy Podcast. It comes out every week, so for any of you who want to hear more of this comedy and behind-the-scenes interviews with people, check out divebarcomedy.com or just wherever you're listening to podcasts, check it out, Dive Bar Comedy. Thanks a lot. Here's Mista See.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Lay it down. Another round of applause for Wild Joe. That's what I'm talking about. That's called comedy, motherfuckers. I don't know if you ever seen it before.
Hey there, Dive Bar Comedy listeners. It is Wild Joe. I am here at Liquid Zoo with Victor Martinez.
Hello, Wild Joe. Thank you for having me on the Wild Comedy Show. What's it called? The Dive Bar Comedy Show?
Yes, and thank you for subscribing. You just pulled out your phone, went to iTunes, and found Dive Bar Comedy. It's easy for anyone to just look it up. We're on all the platforms, Android or iTunes or whatever.
Yes, I am a listener, and I am now a subscriber. Thanks for having me on again.
Yeah, your last show was on back in September 2019, and yeah, if people are big fans of yours, they can go back and check out the old episodes too.
Yeah, I'm going to have to go back and check it out myself, actually. Did you guys upload, like, the set that I did to there, or just the interview?
Both. It's an interview set is their format.
Really? Okay, because I remember whenever my set was recorded, I never got to see any of it. I was like, okay, I wonder what they did with that. So you, like, mixed it in with the podcast.
Yes. So it's all audio. There's no visual.
Okay.
People can't see how extremely good looking we are.
Yeah, right. Okay, that's cool. Well, I'm glad you're still doing this, and I'm glad you still got it in GT's name as well. I think it's really cool. You know, the GT comedy jab theme and everything like that. Such a big fan of his. You know, I miss him so much, and happy to see you keep it going, you know.
Thank you. Yeah, I kind of wanted to change the name even before, you know. But then I'm like, oh, well, it's kind of nice to keep it going because he was the one that started this, and he was doing all the booking, and he found all the venues. And then now I've taken over the booking, but most of the comics I'm booking are the ones that he originally scouted in the first place.
Yeah, me and him were always really close. We knew each other since before we had babies. So, like, you know, he was always very funny, and I appreciated it whenever I made him laugh, too. So I'm happy he always kept booking me for his shows, and yeah, I'm going to keep coming to this. I'm going to keep supporting the cause and everything like that.
Where are your favorite places to perform, or what are your favorite mics around L.A.?
Oh, well, I mean, I don't mean to sound like, you know, asshole or anything, like to promote my own stuff, but I host the Garage Mic show.
I remember this.
Yeah, I host the Garage Mic show. That's one of my favorites to do because you can smoke weed and just hang out.
Okay, I got to come to this. You should write me. Or I should just remember the details.
It's
Saturday,
Fridays and Saturdays now. And
every Friday and Saturday.
Yes. And
where is it?
It's in Koreatown on Western and Venice. On Saturdays, we're from 9 till 2 a.m. And on Fridays, we're from, I think it's like 6 to 8 or something like that. So definitely, if you ever want to come by, you message me. I'll get you up as soon as you show up, for sure. No problem.
Cool.
It's a lot of fun. It's like literally what it sounds like. It's a mic in a garage. You know, there's almost no rules.
It goes along with us. We're in the dive bars. You're in the garage.
Yeah,
it's all the
wild shit. Yeah, absolutely. Almost anything goes at these things. Yeah, that's right. It's always a fun time for sure. But you know, I like performing at the Comedy Store or at Sycamore Tavern, Echoes. But I don't come here to Liquid Zoo enough. I really appreciate that they do this.
Well, this is a real dive bar. This is like I think I would call this an official dive bar.
Yeah, it is. I think so too. I don't go to bars too often. As a comedian, all I do to get out is go to mics. So the only time I'm ever at a bar is if there's a mic at the bar. Yeah, I always appreciate when bars do this kind of thing.
Well, there's a nice elevated stage here. I mean, it's a pretty big stage. You could put a band on it or whatever. So
they take it seriously. That's all you could ask for, right?
Yeah, I love this place. All right, well, cool. Well, I'm glad to be reminded of your show because I still haven't done it and I want to. But for people that are listening, where can they find you online and see what you're doing?
You can find me at Victor Martinez Jr. on Instagram. I also host the High Tonight Show. It's a weed talk show that I post all over the internet. And you can find that at the High Tonight Show Instagram as well.
I'm sensing a theme here.
Yeah, I just love weed and comedy. That's all. I'm trying to structure my whole life around it.
Nice. All right, Victor. Well, thanks for coming on.
Thank you, Wild Joe. You have a good night.
You ready for your next comedian? Alright, I like this guy coming up. They said about Victor. You know, they love to say the name's kind of crazy. His name begins with a B, but you know it sounds like a B when you say it. So put your hands together. Can I get a clap, 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 clap for Victor Martinez? Thank you. Yo, Liquid Sue, how the fuck we doing? GT's Comedy Jam. Good motherfucking evening, guys. That lady's accent before, she was talking about an alien encounter. With an accent like that, she is the alien encounter. You know what I'm saying, man? Get the fuck out of here. I thought my Mexican accent was something else. Guys, how the fuck we doing? Good evening. Who smokes weed in here? Yes, sir. I love weed, man. It's a beautiful drug. It's one of those few drugs that whispers to you, you know? Like it has a voice. It tells you, hey, grow me. You know, sell me to your friends at a discount. How many other plants whisper to you make you want to be a botanist? How many cigarette smokers you see want to grow a tobacco plant? Right? It'll fucking kill you. You could get cancer from tobacco. It never occurred to you to grow a tobacco plant. You smoke weed once, you're like, man, I want to grow this shit. I don't know how to grow anything. I just want to grow this shit. I can't keep anything alive. I just want to make some of my own. If Coke whispered to you and be like, cut me up, hide me in random places, sell me, put fucking rat poison in me and fucking forget where you hid me and shit, you know? It's a dirty drug. The only time I ever do Coke is if I'm mixing it in actual Coca-Cola, you know, to complete the recipe, or put it in like a cavity hole, like a tooth, just shove it in there like the dentist used to do it. It'll turn that tooth right back to white. Try it, and you won't feel that fucking side of your face again. Trust me. Anybody have kids in here? Dude, I have a little beautiful half white, half Mexican son. And I know he's half white because he loves guns. He's 3, and this kid loves guns and zombies. That's all he does. That's all he's into. And I know, either way, I'm proud of him, you know? He's going to be a president or a school shooter. Either way, he's got a bright future, you know, a bright white future. This kid is so white, just like his mother. He's got blonde hair like his mother, the blue eyes of Satan. You know, just nothing left of his father. I'm a Mexican male, all right? I know I look like neither. And, what can I do about it? I used to speak Spanish, but I date too many white women, right? I can't even handle spicy food anymore, you know? The only spice I do is pumpkin spice at Starbucks. Like, that's all I do, man. I fucking love white women. And this white kid right here, he's something else. I jerk off every morning, so I kill about 2 or 3 billions of his brothers and sisters, right whenever I take a shit. So you don't understand the pride that me and DJ Khaled have until you've seen your jizz use a fork for the first time. That's some real shit right there. Yes, sir. Hey, man, how y'all doing on that Jenga game back there? Y'all killing it? That's good. Awesome. Good shit, man. I don't know. I don't think Jenga's fun unless I'm really fucking drunk, you know? Like, that tower becomes like a representation of my actual body. Otherwise, it's not fun. I like to play double Jenga on 9/11. That's a lot of fun. Put some fucking airplane fingertips on or something like that. It's a good time. Double Jenga, 9/11. Guys, anyone ever tried dabbing in here? You know what I'm saying? Dude, how sad is that shit? Imagine your mom walked in on you dabbing. You have a blowtorch in your hand. You're not even fucking welding anything. You know, there's no car in front of you. You're trying to get high. You're not in a garage or some shit. You got a fucking... It's not even normal weed, you know? It's like this amber resin, like that shit the mosquito got stuck in from the first Jurassic Park. It's that shit. Apparently the mosquito was stuck because it was high, you know? And it's not even a normal bong. It's called a rig, like we're oil farmers all of a sudden. Like, just give me a fucking needle while I'm at it, man. Weed has gotten so far. I love smoking future weed, a.k.a. vaping. That shit feels like 2021, man, I'm telling you. Like, I tried DMT out of a vape the other day. You ever seen the third dimension through a vape? That's amazing, man. I love it. I'm uncircumcised. Anybody else in here? Right? Who's not into mutilating kids? I made sure that they kept my son uncut, all right, in the image of God. That's the only thing left of his Mexican heritage left, right? Because Mexicans, we cut grass, not foreskin. That's some fucked up shit. I mean, you gotta be dehydrated in an Egyptian desert to think it's a good idea to cut off a piece of the kid. He just got here. You trying to take a percentage already? Come on now. It's all about the numbers with you guys? I don't think so, man. You're not going to take a little piece of my kid. What are you going to do with those couple centimeters, huh? Make a wallet? A fucking coat or some shit? No, thank you. No. So what? You have to have a little bit more responsibility when you're uncut. And you keep your sensitivity. You get it caught in the zipper sometimes. But you know what? You can't do this one thing I like to call the minty surprise. Anybody know what that is? It's whenever you're about to get blown, right? You put a couple Tic Tacs underneath the mushroom cap. And you pull the foreskin up, and you let the Tic Tacs dissolve right there in your dickhead. It's like getting blown by a snowman. Dude, try it out. The minty surprise. Try it out for birthdays. You know, Valentine's Day already passed. Anyways, Liquid Sea, you guys have a good motherfucking night. Thank you so much. Make some noise for your host. Another round of applause for the godson, Victor Martinez. I like his sexual advice, by the way, gentlemen. If you want to please your ladies, put a Hall's mentolitis in your mouth while you eat the pussy. That's a random thing. Or ice cubes. Ice cubes, Hall's mentolitis while you eat the pussy. Or hum. You know, while you let it. I'm telling you. She'd be like, oh, shit. Oh, shit. Keep your dick in your penis. Keep doing that. I'm telling you. Hum, ice, Hall's mentolitis. Or put the hums and the ice in your mouth and then make the noise while you do it. So Hall's, ice, and then go with a Hall and ice. You will marry this woman in 6 months. 6 months. By the way, I know you're all Americans, so you're terrible at picking relationships. 6 months is all you need to know if they're worth shit. Just to let you know. After 6 months, you don't know. You can't trust that motherfucker. Cut loose. Real shit. Real shit. My sister told me that years ago. And she was kind of a hoe, so I figured she was right. So once again, round of applause for Victor Martinez.
Heather Winter.
Hi guys, how are you?
You brought your buddies tonight.
I did. I brought some friends, a birthday girl actually, celebrating this evening, you know, just having some fun on a Thursday.
She's a hot babe, too.
She's a hot babe, I know. I should just put her on stage. She'll just handle the whole show for us, I think.
Well, there's a prejudice against hot babes because they think, oh, you must not be funny.
I don't necessarily, I don't like prejudice against anybody, but I get a little tired of hot babes. I do, because I mean,
There's an advantage, too.
there's an advantage. People are going to like them if they're kind of funny or not funny, or, you know what I mean? I'm not saying that they are not all funny, but just sometimes, you know, give it to the middle girls that aren't like either hot or super ugly, you know?
You know what? The thing I like about GT's Comedy Jam, and this was mainly because GT was picking people, is that he booked a lot of women, and not just hot ones. He wasn't against hot ones. There's some hot ones, and old ones, and young ones, and fat ones, and thin ones, and transgendered, and all kinds of women.
I love that. See, I like a different show because it makes it so much, you know, more interesting to everybody across the board rather than just certain people. So I like that.
Yeah, when you go to the Comedy Store and try to do the open mic there, and this is something I've noticed. I did music too. I noticed this in music also, that there's no sexism. Maybe there is sexism against women, but The reason that there are more men than women is not because of sexism. The open mic is open to anyone. You'll get like 80 men and 5 women competing for the spots.
Very true. Very true.
In the bands I was in, you go to the practice rehearsal studio, all the rooms are full. There might be one woman out of all the bands, and it's all just guys practicing. The women, if anything, have a better chance.
Right.
But they're just not even trying. I'm like, what are the women doing?
I know. That's what I'm saying. We need more women in comedy. It's hard to watch so many men get in these spots, and I'm all for anybody doing comedy, but we definitely need more vaginas in there. I think we definitely do.
But now that I had babies, maybe they're taking care of babies, because when you're taking care of baby, you can't do anything else. And I did a women's open mic, and there were like 40 women there, and I shouted out to everybody, "Hey, who here is a mom?" And not one person, they were all ages, from like 20 to 50.
Wow.
Not one person said they were a mom. So I was like, well, who here has a mom?
I mean, I hope they all.
But maybe that's why, because my whole life I've been like going to bars. It's all dudes, like Sausage Fest. I went to business school, all dudes. Band, all dudes. Comedy, all dudes. I'm like, where are the women?
I know.
What are they doing? Just staying home with their dog? I mean, what are they doing?
They must be. I don't know. Honestly, I think the same thing. That's so funny that you brought that up. I literally am always walking out, and I go into the comedy store or wherever, and I see pictures of all these comics, and it's like for every 10 men, there's one woman. And I'm like, where are all the women at? I know we're talented. We need to get out there.
And nothing against the comedy store, because they actually make sure to put at least 2 female comics up every time they do the open mic, and you have a better chance of getting up if you have a woman's name.
Yeah. Which the comedy store is great, but it's just like you were saying, it's just who gets to put in more time, and it happens to be men a lot. And I just I'm definitely all for the women getting up there and the power coming.
I don't know what they're doing. Maybe they need their beauty sleep.
They might. I mean, I get that. That's probably why all the pretty ones are up there getting their time, because they've gotten enough beauty sleep. Me, I obviously have not yet, so working on it.
Hey,
what are you gonna do?
Beauty is in the eye of the beholder.
Exactly. I can't find my beholder yet, but I'm sure he's out there. So,
as GT said, I found some of his notes, his comedy notes in his phone, and I just read. He said, "Dick size is in the eye of the beholder."
Yeah, I guess dick preference, I would say, is in the eye of the beholder, but I could get that. I can flow with that GT joke there.
Anyway, I printed out some of his jokes. He had one called the sperm barrel, 23 pages long.
What?
And this is like single space typewritten, 12-point font, and I'm like, what? Because he wrote down every thing that was even slightly funny. And
I love that.
I mean, if somebody tried to read it, it would probably be an hour-long bit. Anyway.
Now you can.
I was thinking about reading it, but I'm like, this is too much. I gotta edit. So anyway,
you gotta cut some of it out, just a little bit.
All right, Heather. Well, it's gonna be a fun show. I'm excited to have you on. Where can people find you online?
Find me on Instagram at Heather R. Winter. Same thing on Twitter, on Snapchat, on YouTube. Follow my YouTube page. I post all my videos on there. And just come out to the show. Support live comedy. That's all I gotta say. I'm excited to be on the show.
Cool. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
That's right. Give me a clap, 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 and get your hands ready for Heather, the goddess, Winter. I also paid him to tell me that I was a goddess. First time in a while from a guy. So, excellent. Hey, Jenga people! I'm gonna need you guys to pay attention to this. You're not? Okay, cool. You're not? Cool. Awesome. They didn't hear me at all. Hey, Jenga! Thank you. Right here. I got him. You guys ready to laugh? All right, cool. They're not. Awesome. I'm trying to work on my New Year's resolutions. Anybody else? Yeah. I'm trying to work. My New Year's resolution is working on my weight, right? Not like losing it so much as just like make it feel comfortable and love itself. Right? Yeah, it's like, who cares, right? No, I've looked at a bunch of gyms to join, because that's how you lose weight, essentially. And I found some. It was great. You know when you're so unhealthy that you're excited to lose weight? That's when you know you picked the right gym, because you're like, I don't even give a fuck. I'll pay whatever.
So I found it, and I got all the way to the payment page, and turns out the pint of ice cream was more tempting than me spending the $40 to join the gym. So I did that first, obviously, right? I needed the energy. I take anything that's working out, though. This is working out. This is getting steps in as I move back and forth, right? Getting up and off the couch is a workout. It's like burpees or whatever you fucking call them. I wouldn't know because I don't do them. Cool. I'm working that joke out a little bit. I'm working it out. It's not hitting yet, but it's gonna at some point when I lose weight, maybe. It'll hit. Cool. Anybody superstitious out there? Where are my superstitious people at? Yeah. Hey, Jenga, are you guys superstitious? You are? There's somebody over here. This guy, not even facing me, so he goes, yeah! He's shouting at the baseball game. Not us. Cool. No, I'm superstitious. I'm a superstitious masturbator, though. Yeah, no, it's a real thing. Look it up, Google it. When my day is shitty, I'll just like rub one out really quick, and it's like weird how it improves. I don't know the logistics to it, but it just happens. I had a shitty job, you know, so I thought I'd apply to a bunch of places because that's what you do. And I got 2 callbacks, so I was like, cool, this is not going to work out. So I went to the first one, wasn't great. Which I said I knew I was going to happen. So then I had like an hour to kill before the next one, right? So I was like, cool. I'm gonna go to my car really quickly. Cause do you guys masturbate in your car? You don't masturbate in your car? You masturbate in your car, Mista? Yeah. Do you guys masturbate in your car? Anybody? No? I thought that's how we all survive LA traffic, right? We're just like, No, it's cool. You go. I don't care. Merch. I don't fucking care. Oh, okay. Yep. All right. Stop sign. Cool. As I was masturbating though in my car, it was crazy because I was like getting into it and I like looked up and I locked eyes with this guy, right? He was homeless, obviously, but he was also masturbating, so I felt the connection to him. Yeah. And at that point, I wasn't going to look away because then it was awkward, right? You can't look away from somebody else masturbating. We're in it together. We're going to do this. We're going to finish together, right? That's what you do. So we did. We finished. Me, wherever, and him on a squirrel. It was fine. Yeah. But then I walked into the interview, right? And I got the job. So I was super excited about it, right? Thank you. I went into the coffee shop down the street a couple days after. Who's making my coffee? That fucking homeless guy. Right? It was crazy. I asked him if he washed his hands. He said no. I said me neither. That's cool. I like having sex with different races of men. It's kind of my thing. It's like my own, like, what do you call it? Like your study. If you're in like master's, right, getting your education, you call it like your study, whatever it is, right? Your doctorate or whatever. My doctorate's fucking different races and figuring out which one's the best. Yeah. So far, black guys are in the lead. So congratulations, Mista See. Yeah. They know how to make their fucking insecurities like turned into something that makes you feel comfortable, right? Like, who's fucked a black guy in here? Wild Joe? Okay, alright. She's got that name Wild Joe for a reason, right? She's like, yeah, whatever, nobody else has fucked a black guy? I don't know why I'm pointing to the dudes over here, but... Hey, Jenga! Have you guys fucked a black guy?
That's cool. Oh, it's cool.
Now you're paying attention. Got him. Anyway, black guys, like, so I have insecurity. I have roles, right? So, if I'm with a black guy, he'll be like, don't worry about those rolls, babe. Just slap some butter on that shit, I'll lick it right out. It's fine, it's no big deal. So I'm like, cool. I like butter too. Works out. Hispanic guys, where my Hispanic guys at? Probably mowing the lawn or something. Makes sense. They're quick though. They're pretty quick, yeah. Because they have to do chores afterwards. So, you know, the windows and the lawn and the laundry. There's literally no other race but white men in here, which... You guys are not the best. You're not the best at sex. I'm so sorry. Are you guys a couple? Are you guys gay? Why did you say not really to me asking if you were a couple then? You guys said not really. Are you bisexual? No. You're completely straight and you said not really to me asking you if you're in a relationship.
Open-minded.
Is that not bisexual? Or is there some other fucking word that some millennial made up that's called I do whatever? Pansexual. Is that what that is? I don't understand the lingo anymore. I'm too old. I'm 32 and I don't understand pansexual. What the fuck? Who came up with this shit? Just be like, I just fuck whoever fucks me, because I get that. So you're open-minded. Okay, cool. Are you gay or are you also pansexual? He's like, I don't even know this guy. I feel extremely, huh? Thank you. I don't know what that means either. He doesn't even, okay, he's very uncomfortable. I just made it awkward for them. Sorry, you're not getting laid from him later. I apologize for that. You probably had to go at it earlier, and not now you don't. So, but white guys, you guys are the worst at fucking. I'm sorry about it. You guys are. Every white guy I've ever fucks like Christian Bale in American Psycho. They're just like, no, I'm pretty. Fuck you, bitch, I'm pretty. Ooh, I'm getting for you guys too. Here we go. Oh. Yeah, look, I'm looking at Trump. That's exactly probably what he does when he fucks Melania's daughter or something, because it wouldn't be his, right? Cool. You guys don't talk politics? I don't either. That was my best joke and nobody laughed, so I'm gonna get off the stage now. Hands up for the fucking Jenga people back there. Thank you guys for not paying attention to my set. I'll find you later. Ava, happy birthday to you. And Joe and Mista See, thank you guys for having me tonight. This was fun. All right, guys, my name's Heather Winter. Have a great night. That's what I'm talking about. Another round of applause for Heather, the goddess Winter. That's right. It's Black History Month. We like that black love. Yeah. Plus, black guys, we like fairly healthy white women. I ain't gonna lie. We the skinny ones. Like, this one right here, she's too bony. We can't date this one. We like, girl, can you cook? No. Girl, you have your, I don't know. You too skinny. You don't look like you eat enough.
Say big bone, Mista See.
Yeah, no, big bone. Well, we call it thick. We call it thick. Isn't that what Lizzo calls it? Lizzo be like, I'm thick. I'm like, you thick than two motherfuckers. You know what I'm saying? But I know guys that that Jack Sprat could eat no fat story and his wife could eat no lean. That is real shit. I actually know guys in Philly, slim, good looking brothers. And if she less than 250, he ain't touching. Like, he would touch this pretty girl right here on the shoulder. Like, hey, pretty girl, can you get Heather over there right quick? Move the fuck out the way. I need a real woman. I'm not bullshit. They out there, I'm telling you. Oh, well, there you go. She knows a poor girl. You probably lonely as fuck, huh? Oh, man. Hey, where's the skinny white man? Hey, skinny white man, get on this shit. Do it over here. You're pansexual. You can deal with white ladies too. It's cool. Oh, by the way, pansexual equals Prince. So if you know the musician Prince, does that answer all the questions for your pansexual understanding? No, Miley Cyrus, I don't know, she went through a horse. Prince, he nailed a fucking horse. He had the ass out. He had assless chaps. Chaps, you wear chaps when you ride a horse. Prince would fuck a horse. R.I.P. Prince, by the way. That's pansexualism. Keep your dicks in your pants, guys. You too. You. Keep your dick in your pants.
Hey, it's Wild Joe. I am here with Paul Green.
Hello.
So, Liquid Zoo, you've been here before? You've done a show here before?
I have not. It's my first time, and to be honest, I don't even remember how I got booked on the show. I was trying to remember.
It was me.
It was you?
I booked everybody.
Sure? Okay, then it was you.
If it was either me or Geezer helped.
Geezer.
Do you know a guy named Geezer?
Maybe.
I think you'd remember if you knew a guy named Geezer.
I don't remember. All that happened is I got a Facebook thing, and I was like, okay, I have a show tonight.
You're an adventurous guy.
Absolutely. I'm actually pretty organized usually, so I've been racking my brain trying to remember how I got on the show. But I am here, and I am ready, and I'm excited.
Oh, we're glad. We're glad you made it on, and yeah,
You're
it's gonna be a
exchanging
fun time.
Absolutely. You
Yeah.
just got $10 from a random person.
That wasn't a random person. That was our door guy.
From the door guy, I didn't quite see. I was too busy watching the cash.
He's collecting the money. He's collecting the money. Make sure everybody's paid that's coming here for the paid show.
Oh, very
and
nice.
we got to pay off our flyer guy. We got to pay the podcast fees. We got bills.
How much of that is my fee?
I don't know. How much you charging for the show, Paul?
I'm at about $5,000 a night right now, so I think my 7 minutes,
Wow.
you know, maybe a discount.
All right. You
Maybe
got
a
to
discount.
only bring 500 friends, $10 each, and I'll pay you your whole $5,000.
So if I bring in $5,000, you'll give it back to me.
I'll give it all to you.
Oh, that's so kind of you.
Okay. That reminds me of a. I'm not going to tell you. I'll tell you this joke. It's not my joke. I'll tell you this joke after we finish this podcast. But it
All right.
reminds me of this joke, or maybe I'll tell it now.
Why don't you tell it
Horrible
now? Because
joke.
now everybody wants to know what the
I
joke
can't
is.
remember who it was. It was some famous guy, so I'm stealing this, but it was a joke from when I was a kid that I heard. That this guy has to sell 5,000 toothbrushes for some reason to get his $5,000 or whatever, new job, and it was like an impossible thing. Comes back the next day with all the money for the toothbrush, and he goes, I sold you toothbrushes. Now what? And the boss says, well, how did you do it? He says, well, I took a bowl of chips and a bowl of dip. I put it on the corner of a busy street with a sign that says, free, take some. People come by, they take a chip, they dip it in the dip, they taste it, they says, ew, this tastes like shit. I says, it is. Want to buy a toothbrush?
It's a good joke.
Yeah, it was like a partial version of the joke, and I forgot whose it was, but
I don't
anyway,
remember
it was
either.
one of my favorite jokes when I was a little kid.
Anyway,
All right, well, happy you're here.
Thank you.
Anything up your sleeve tonight?
I've got some new material that I've been hacking away out at open mics. I'm excited to see if I can, you know, it's a bar show, so you got to really bring it if you're gonna get their attention, you know.
Yeah, people here, there's a game on, but they're not watching. But they do seem they're playing drinking games. They're playing some card game. Never have I ever.
Is there a Dodgers game? How could that be? Is it still?
know.
I don't know baseball.
I don't know the seasons.
I don't either. I thought the World Series already happened, or am I?
That was the Super Bowl.
Well, I know the Super Bowl because I know football. I know Super Bowl and the NBA championship. All right.
I don't know either.
I don't follow baseball. It's too boring. It's too long. Sorry, I know it's America's pastime, but it is not my pastime. And yes, I'm also aware that football also has a lot of downtime. So I don't want to get into it.
Well, soccer's a low-scoring, boring game to watch too. It has like 1 point per game.
See, I have a theory that the reason Americans don't like soccer is because there is not enough gratification, because there's not enough scoring throughout, because it's like hard, grueling work for hours and hours and hours to maybe get like one goal. And I feel like Americans, we want instant gratification, we want it fast. So it's like basketball. Oh, every 24 seconds, if you don't score a bucket, we're going to take the ball from you and we're going to give it to a team that can. Football, it's like every single yard, every single play. Like, are we winning? Are we losing? Are we winning? Are we losing? Right? Baseball, same
That's
thing.
probably true.
But the soccer, it's like there's no real. You don't really know who's winning, you know, because there's not like There's not a lot of measurable stats throughout the game. It's not like football where you know if you're getting closer to the goal or further away to the goal. Soccer, it's fluid, and there's just a lot of hard work, and then maybe there's like one goal. And I feel like Americans, we need more instant gratification than that. That's my theory. It's a theory.
But it's a lot of fun to play. Even a lot of little kids play. And
Oh, I play YMCA soccer. I was horrible, but I played.
Everybody did. I think
Yeah.
everybody liked soccer when they were kids, and it's a lot of fun, and it's great exercise. So, I don't know. Americans like soccer in that way.
I do remember scoring one goal in YMCA soccer, and it's because I kicked it right at the goalie, very, very slowly. It was not a formidable kick by any means. But
Bad goalie.
Bad soccer player, even worse goalie, and it literally went right under his legs, like right between his legs, and it was not a fast kick. So I didn't score a goal. The goalie just failed to do his job.
The
So.
best offense is a bad defense.
Best offense is a bad defense. There's something in that.
Anyway, I just made that up.
That was very brilliant.
All right. Well, I'm glad you could make it.
Likewise.
However this happened.
Yeah, I'm here.
And for those listening, where can they find you online?
They can find me at Paul Green Comedy everything. PaulGreenComedy.com. Paul Green Comedy Facebook. Paul Green Comedy Instagram. Paul Green Comedy Twitter. Paul Green Comedy YouTube. Paul Green Comedy Instagram. Type in Paul Green Snapchat. Type in Paul Green Comedy on anything, and you'll find me.
Keep it simple.
Keep
All right.
it simple.
Thanks, Paul.
Thank you.
Alright, so the comedy coming to the stage right now. I don't know if he's here, but I think he is. I think we talked to him. The P. Jesus and whatnot. Alright, that's what I'm talking about. So, we gonna get into this one. This might be the son of Chris Paul and Draymond Green if they had a threesome with a white lady. You get what I'm saying? Because, you know, there's epigenetics. Alright, that was a nerd joke. Y'all didn't get that shit. You were unintelligent motherfuckers. Anyway, alright. So, I gotta bring you back in. Hey, pool table. What's going on back there? What's up, gang gang? Can I get a gang gang? Can I get a gang gang? Can I get a gang gang? That's what I'm talking about. It's the Dog Bar Poverty Podcast. GT Comedy Jam at the Liquid Zoo. You ready for this next comedian, motherfuckers? You got everybody put your hands together for the James Jesus Paul Green.
Yeah. I would also like to wish you all happy Black History Month. Oh, it's weird when I do it. It's weird when I do it. All right, that's fine. I will have you know I am against racism, all right? I think it's evil. I think it's ignorant. Wrong. That being said, if I'm at the gym and I'm picking a basketball team, I'm still picking black guys. Yeah, it's a racial stereotype. Not every black guy's good at basketball, but in my gym it's almost always true. That doesn't make me racist, it makes me competitive. All right, off to a good start. Ava, I am a skinny white guy. Just wanted to point that out. I'm working on getting skinnier, so just throwing it out there. Very good. She's left, but can I comment on my favorite thing that this woman here said before she left? It was like, she's like, who loves In-N-Out Burger? She's like, I love In-N-Out Burger. It's so consistent. Like that is the oddest thing to love about a place. Like, it's shitty, but man, it stays the same every single time. And my second favorite thing, can I pick on you again? My second favorite thing is when the comedian said, who smokes weed here? And everybody went, woo! And you went, just very classy. It's like, yes, I do engage in the smoking of marijuana for recreational and medicinal purposes, but I'm not going to act excited about it, thank you. Very classy there. Very good. Are you single? Oh, lovely. Okay. So am I. Just FYI. The funny thing, I thought you had a boyfriend, so I was going to ask that, and then I had a whole series of jokes for you having a boyfriend. Now I don't know what to do. What's that? You broke up 2 days ago? Oh my gosh. Do you need someone who's a good listener? Because... I will have you know that Mista See has taught me some great tips about eating pussy with Hall's medicine, was it?
Hall's ice in the hole.
Hall's and ice, so, you know. I gotta be honest, Mista See, you had me with that. I was like, yes, taking notes, but then you're like, she'll marry you in 6 months. I'm like, why? Then why did I learn this excellent pussy game? If I'm just gonna get married after 6 months. Man, if I had that pussy game, you know. All right. Everybody still with me? Nope. Okay. Good. You too. Good. All right. I just had a one-night stand though, everybody. Yeah, she is not returning my phone calls. So, I should clarify, she was having a one-night stand. I was catching feelings for the wrong woman. Yeah. I don't know why men are always bragging about one-night stands. For me, it was 2 minutes of pleasure for 2 weeks of tears. So, Too vulnerable? Too vulnerable. I can put up some walls if that would make you all more comfortable. Oh, this is cool. I was actually hooking up. Do you guys want to hear a joke about my penis? Yeah! Okay, it's short. The joke. Oh no, so I was hooking up with this woman, and when she saw my penis, she got real excited, real happy, and she was like, "Oh yeah, I hate big dicks." So she was very happy with mine. We then proceeded to have very comfortable sex. It was very agreeable, not a lot of friction, you know. I didn't murder that pussy, but I did give it that uneasy feeling. You know that feeling when you're like in a parking garage late at night and you hear a sound and you're like, am I going to get murdered? And then you run to your car, but everything's fine? That's what I did to that pussy, everybody. No structural damage. It's pretty good. I am single though. Actually, I just got dumped as well, actually. We have so much in common. Oh, no, you jumped in, of course. Of course she did. How foolish of me. She don't get dumped. I get it. There was a lot of pride in that. How long was the relationship? 2 years? It was time, right? Just too many of the red flags that you ignored. Like, my love will heal him. Perfect for me. You know, I just need a woman who's willing to overlook red flags. All right. I go to therapy. I'm doing my... Oh, shit, I just got made fun of. Okay.
You're a comedian.
Oh, yeah, I like to expel the jokes. I don't absorb them. Yeah, this is a one-way. I'm very insecure. I don't know how many comedians you know who can just take shit. I go home and cry. So anyway, very emotional and available, emotionally available. Like, great listener, go to therapy, a lot of self-help. I have a job. This is a side thing. It's not my okay. What was I talking about? I get distracted by Ava every time I look in that direction. Where was I at? Oh yeah. So I got done. I got done. Remember when I was talking about that? But what's that? Oh, he's talking about the game? I got so excited. He was like, yeah. I was like, somebody likes my jokes. Somebody liked that pitch. Okay. So she called me up. She dumped me. Oh, she told me that I didn't respect her boundaries. And I gotta be honest, I felt horrible, alright? I so badly wanted to apologize, so I hung up the phone and drove to her work immediately to apologize. And then she goes, Paul, this is what I'm talking about. I'm like, I know, I'm sorry. And she goes, I can never date you, you're emotionally high maintenance. And that made me cry. So. Then she blocked me on Instagram. 2 days after that, her cat also blocked me on Instagram. Yeah, I was thinking about it. I don't think it was her cat. I think it was her. I think she hacked her cat's Instagram, blocked without her consent. Who's violating boundaries now? Am I right? Back on all the dating apps. Yeah, I gotta be honest, I love dating apps. I don't know why people rip on them all the time, like Tinder and stuff. I love Tinder because Tinder allows me to cram years of rejection into minutes. I did a match with a very attractive lady on Tinder recently, and I don't know about you guys, but every time that happens to me, my first thought is like, oh yeah, I am definitely getting scammed. Right? I'm like, there's just no way this is a real woman, right? It's probably some dude, you know, like in a basement who like lives alone, like a loser. He's probably like bald with a beard and wears like jeans and white shirts and tries to overcompensate for his insecurities. Like a real loser, you know what I mean? Oh, we just got it. I was describing myself. Did we get it? Did we get how I was describing a loser, but then I described myself. That's where the funny part of that joke comes from. that I just described to you. It's always good to end. It's always good to end on a joke explanation. Everybody's been awesome. I'm Paul Gray. Thank you so much.
That's what I'm talking about. Another round of applause for the P-Jesus, Paul Green. I like that. That was good stuff. You guys enjoy that right there? All right.
All right, there it is, guys. That was episode 82 of Dive Bar Comedy. Please join us every week at divebarcomedy.com or wherever you listen to podcasts.